G'day YouTube, it's Shane here once again, and today I'm just on my way back from having paid my rent at the post office, and I prefer to pay it physically. It gives me that little inkling of social interaction that we're all so averse to these days with electronic transfers and stuff like that. Brand new postal worker, young lady with a ring in her nose and a weird plait, but looks absolutely gorgeous, you know. But I digress, and I don't mean to be sexist or superficial or whatever. But it's always good to interact with people in the real world, offline. You get different insights, and it allows people to maybe question the bullshit that they've been exposed to online, and 99% of it is bullshit. But anyway, I digress. So last night I got dressed up and did a couple of, I think there's like 8 videos I had to do for like a video interview with an app called Sidekicker, and it was for like hospitality jobs. And I'm not really suited for hospitality exactly, but I just wanted to be able to say or that I've done the interview for the app. See, the problem with the app is that it'll say book an interview. So you go to book an interview, and if you don't book an interview then and there, right, all of the interviews for like August were filled. Okay, so there was only 5 interviews for the whole of August. And you think, okay, well, how disorganized is this company? And there's nothing for September yet, right? So I had to do like the manual interview because I wanted to get it over and done with. So I stayed up late, stressing and procrastinating and anxiety and all the rest of it, because some of the skills that I needed to present for the interview I didn't have. For example, I'm not a barista, so I know very little about coffee machines. So I did a little bit of Googling and watching YouTube videos about it and stuff like that. And I also didn't know how to carry 3 plates or clear up 5 plates. I do now, and made a bit of a balls up on it with the interview, but I digress. Anyway, so I stayed up late last night. I came out this afternoon to pay my rent and stuff, and I find that because it was bin day today, put my bin out last night, brought it back in, and I checked the front of my property, and I've got like a green waste bin and a recycling bin, and it wasn't the recycling week. It wasn't the recycling week, so those bins were still there, and I had them stuffed with like cardboard and some other stuff that I hadn't thrown out from the housing trust inspection. And someone had gone through it. Like the first time in 30 years, someone had gone through my personal belongings out the front of my house. And yeah, it doesn't feel very good. And then I checked my letterbox, and when I went to pick up the bin, and the letterbox is wide open, and someone had taken like the first few layers of junk mail out of the bin, out of the letterbox. The junk mail I keep in there during winter, especially because what happens is when it rains really heavy, the letterbox leaks, and if I didn't have any absorbing padding or something to keep the regular mail off the metal base, that'd get soaked through and it would destroy the very flimsy, government letters that they send, the envelopes, and it destroys your paperwork. So I do have a PO box, and I'm going to start using that pretty much exclusively. But to know that some idiot had gone through my letterbox is a bit of a, I don't know, makes you feel like violated. I don't like that word, or don't want to water down that word. But the idea that someone's been in your property, in your area, or being where they shouldn't. And the problem is, it's because of junkies in the area now. And one of the units near me, it's no longer a housing trust unit. It's owned by Anglicare. And they were supposed to fix up the units. They were supposed to knock them down and then rebuild them, and they didn't. They just went, we can just paint the walls over the cracks and just fix the toilets and move people in. Anyway, so what happened is that, unbeknownst to me, that home, that unit, became a drug den. Now, I say allegedly because I don't know for certain, because these things are often very clandestine, but one of the neighbours has said that he's seen people doing drug deals and stuff like that. And I'll show you a photo of myself out the front of the property, and it'll be the thumbnail for this video as well. But yeah, it's a drug den, so there are people coming and going all the time, and they're riding bikes and they've got backpacks on their backs. They ride in, they knock on the door, or they ring him, use the mobile, so he comes to the front door, and or it's usually not him, it's usually like a female that shouldn't be living there. And so they let him in, they fill up their bag, and then they get on their bikes and then leave. Now, I don't know the nature of the drug, whether it's just weed, and like, big deal, who cares? But I think it's something a lot stronger, and it starts with the letter C, and it rhymes with cocaine. And I think that because Tasmania is the biggest source of that material, that substance in the southern hemisphere, it's very easy to get, apparently, and therefore not as expensive as people lead you to believe. But I digress. It's not my area of expertise. I don't want that anywhere near me. And yeah, it's led to having a squatter next door, and they're not there all the time, but they've damaged the chain that holds the window in place, so they can just climb in whenever they want. And every now and again I'll notice that the back gate is open. So yeah, I'm reluctant to actually no, I'm going to bring the housing trust, and but I am reluctant to show my face in the area. I've got to think of my own safety now. I'm still young enough to be fit, and I can still defend myself, but it's something that I really don't wish I was in a position to have to do. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, because I'm getting sick and tired of this crap. I need to move out of suburbia.